If sleep has become less predictable after 50, you have probably seen magnesium advertised as the answer. But magnesium is not a sleeping pill, and no single food can guarantee a better night. What magnesium actually does is important enough without exaggeration. Your body needs it for normal muscle and nerve function, energy production, blood sugar regulation, bone health, and hundreds of enzyme-driven processes. And older adults are among the groups more likely to fall short. Men 51 and older need about 420 milligrams a day. Women need about 320. So today we are counting down 15 practical foods by the amount of magnesium in a normal serving. There are no miracle claims or invented remedies here. Stay for number 1, because one small handful provides 156 milligrams. That is nearly half of a woman's daily target and more than a third of a man's. And before we finish, I will show you how 2 ordinary foods can add more than 200 milligrams to your day without a supplement bottle in sight. Here are 15 magnesium-rich foods worth eating after 50. Number 15 is the banana. Bananas are usually discussed because of potassium, but one medium banana also provides about 32 milligrams of magnesium. That doesn't make it the most concentrated source on this list, but it does make it one of the easiest. There is nothing to measure, soak, grind, or cook. It's naturally portioned, widely available, and gentle enough to fit into breakfast, a snack, or an evening bowl of oatmeal. For a more substantial magnesium combination, slice one over oatmeal, or add a spoonful of peanut butter. Both foods appear later in this countdown. The important point here is not that a banana will put you to sleep. It won't. The point is that small contributions add up, especially when they come from foods you will realistically eat more than once. And this next one can sit in your pantry for months. Number 14 is oatmeal. A typical packet of instant oatmeal provides about 36 milligrams of magnesium. Old-fashioned and steel-cut oatmeal can contribute magnesium too, although the exact number depends on the serving. Oats are useful because they give you a base you can build on. Add peanut butter, almonds, chia seeds or pumpkin seeds, and an ordinary bowl becomes one of the easiest ways to combine several magnesium sources without preparing an elaborate meal. Choose plain oatmeal when possible and add your own fruit or cinnamon. Many flavoured packets contain enough added sugar to turn what should be a simple, nutritious breakfast into something closer to dessert. Oatmeal also works well as a small evening meal for people who like to enjoy something warm before bed. And remember that the calming part may come just as much from building a familiar night routine as from any individual nutrient. Next is a simple whole grain swap that restores much of what refining removes. Number 13 is brown rice. Half a cup of cooked brown rice provides about 42 milligrams of magnesium. The same amount of cooked white rice provides only about 10. That's quite the difference. And the difference exists because turning brown rice into white rice removes the bran and germ, the portions of the grain where much of its magnesium is found. Now, as someone who loves a cup of white rice, I want you to know this doesn't mean you have to give up white rice forever, but replacing it with brown rice in even some meals can meaningfully increase your magnesium intake without changing the meal completely. Use it under black beans, roasted vegetables, salmon, or a simple stir-fry, and cook a larger batch than you need. Refrigerated brown rice makes the following day's lunch much easier. This is exactly the kind of change our free natural living starter kit is built around. Finding the fuller traditional version of something modern processing stripped down. More on that at the end. Next is a food many people never think of as a magnesium source at all. Number 12 is plain low-fat yogurt. An 8-ounce serving provides about 42 milligrams of magnesium, tying it with the brown rice we just covered. Yogurt is not the most concentrated food on this list, but it gives you several easy ways to add the foods that are. Similar to oatmeal, you can stir in chia seeds, top it with almonds, add a sliced banana, or sprinkle pumpkin seeds over the top for crunch. Choose plain yogurt and sweeten it yourself with fruit when possible. Flavoured varieties can contain considerably more added sugar. For people who don't tolerate dairy as well, don't worry. You can use another suitable food from this list instead. Magnesium is widely distributed across legumes, seeds, nuts, whole grains, and leafy vegetables, so no single entry is essential. That is one of the coolest and most useful things about this mineral. You have options. Next is a food whose reputation depends almost entirely on how it is prepared. Number 11 is a baked potato with its skin. A 3.5 ounce serving provides about 43 milligrams of magnesium. Potatoes are often treated as nutritionally empty because many of the versions Americans encounter arrive fried, heavily salted, or covered in rich toppings. But a plain baked or boiled potato is a different food. Keep the skin on when it is clean and in good condition. The skin adds fibre and allows you to eat more of the whole vegetable rather than removing part of it before cooking. Be sure to scrub the potato thoroughly, bake it until tender, and top it with plain yogurt, herbs, black beans, or a modest amount of cheese. You can also cool cooked potatoes for potato salad. Cooling changes some of the starch into resistant starch, although it does not increase the magnesium itself. Next is one of the fastest 2 tablespoon upgrades on this list. Number 10 is smooth peanut butter. 2 tablespoons provide about 49 milligrams of magnesium. Peanut butter is useful because it can turn several lower magnesium foods into a stronger combination. Spread it on whole grain toast, stir it into oatmeal, add it to a banana, or blend a spoonful into plain yogurt if you enjoy the flavour. And as always, read the ingredient label. A straightforward peanut butter may contain only peanuts, with or without salt. Many products in stores today add sugar and oils that are just not necessary for texture or nutrition. Portion also matters. Peanut butter is nutrient dense, but it is calorie dense too. 2 level tablespoons are enough to make a meaningful contribution. A quick fun fact: peanuts are technically legumes rather than tree nuts, and another member of the legume family is coming next. Number 9 is edamame, the young soybean commonly served steamed in its pod. Half a cup of cooked, shelled edamame provides about 50 milligrams of magnesium. It also provides protein and fibre, making it more substantial than many packaged snacks marketed toward older adults. Fresh edamame is best, but frozen edamame is convenient. Cook it according to the package directions and season it lightly. You can eat it warm from the pod or buy it already shelled for soups, salads, rice bowls, and stir-fries. The magnesium amount is based on the beans you actually eat, not the weight of the discarded pods. That distinction matters when comparing labels and serving sizes. And while soy foods have attracted plenty of confusing claims online, ordinary servings of edamame can simply be treated as what they are: a nutritious legume. The next entry gives you slightly more magnesium and is one of the least expensive foods in the countdown. Number 8 is black beans. Half a cup of cooked black beans provides about 60 milligrams of magnesium. They also supply fibre and plant protein, and they can anchor an entire meal rather than acting as a decorative topping. Use canned beans when convenience matters. And here is a pro tip: strain and rinse them if you want to reduce some of the sodium before cooking. You can also soak dried beans and cook them until completely tender. Garlic, cumin, onion, oregano, and bay leaf can build flavour without requiring a complicated recipe. Black beans work especially well with the brown rice from number 13. Together, half a cup of each provides about 102 milligrams of magnesium before you add anything else to the plate. Quick check-in. Which side of this list sounds more like your kitchen so far? Are you team grains and beans or team oatmeal and peanut butter? Tell us in the comments. We read every one. Next is an easy drink that contributes nearly as much magnesium as the beans. Number 7 is soy milk. 1 cup of plain or vanilla soy milk provides about 61 milligrams of magnesium in the NIH reference serving. Different products can vary, so check the nutrition label when magnesium is listed. Also look at added sugar, particularly in flavoured varieties. Soy milk works in oatmeal, smoothies, or as a replacement for dairy milk when that suits your needs. It also gives you a way to combine several entries at once. Blend soy milk with a banana and a spoonful of peanut butter, and you have a practical drink made from 3 foods on this countdown. By the way, it's important to note that a combination like that, as powerful as it may sound, is not a treatment for something like insomnia. So, if you are struggling with severe sleep disorders, please seek professional help. What combining these foods can do is become part of a balanced meal or snack that contributes magnesium, protein, carbohydrate, and fat all at once. The next food is closely related to peanut butter, but offers more magnesium in its standard serving. Number 6 is roasted peanuts. A quarter cup serving provides about 63 milligrams of magnesium. That is more than twice the amount in a medium banana and slightly more than half a cup of black beans. Choose unsalted or lightly salted peanuts when you want more control over sodium. They work as a snack on their own, but they can also be chopped over oatmeal, salads, vegetable dishes, or rice bowls. As with peanut butter, portioning matters. Pour a quarter cup rather than eating directly from a large container, where a small snack can quickly turn into several servings. Peanuts are inexpensive, shelf-stable, and available almost everywhere, which gives them an advantage over foods that look impressive on paper but rarely make it into the average kitchen. Next comes a creamier nut with an even larger magnesium contribution. Number 5 is dry roasted cashews. 1 ounce provides about 74 milligrams of magnesium. That is a little more than 18% of the standard 420 milligram daily value. An ounce is a small handful, not a cereal bowl. Cashews can be eaten alone, added to trail mix, or chopped over vegetables and grain dishes. They also blend smoothly into sauces when soaked simply to soften their texture. Soaking can make blending easier, but you might have heard that it doubles as a way to unlock or dramatically increase their magnesium. That is false. However, it does improve magnesium absorption by lowering phytic acid. Don't overthink it though. Either way, you will get the benefits of magnesium by adding cashews to your diet. Choose plain or lightly salted cashews and store them away from heat so their natural oils remain fresh. The next entry has only 4 more milligrams per serving, but it delivers them in a very different package. Number 4 is spinach. Half a cup of cooked spinach provides about 78 milligrams of magnesium, and the word cooked matters here because spinach shrinks dramatically in the pan. What starts as a large pile of fresh leaves quickly becomes a realistic serving, making it much easier to eat a meaningful amount. Sauté it with garlic, fold it into eggs, stir it into beans or soup, or add it to a casserole. It is one of the simplest ways to put more magnesium-rich greens on your plate without completely changing the meals you already make. Simply cook it in a way you enjoy and include a range of magnesium sources rather than depending on a single food. Next comes the first food in the countdown to reach 80 milligrams in 1 serving. Number 3 is dry roasted almonds. 1 ounce provides about 80 milligrams of magnesium. That is roughly 19% of the standard daily value. Almonds are easy to carry, require no preparation, and work in both sweet and savoury meals. Chop them over oatmeal or yogurt, add them to a salad, or portion a small handful into a container before leaving home. Similar to cashews, there is a popular claim out there that says almonds must be soaked overnight to remove phytic acid and make their minerals available. But the current research doesn't justify soaking as necessary. You can soak almonds because you prefer the softer texture, but ordinary almonds still belong on a magnesium-rich diet. That is an important distinction and a consistent theme you'll find here at the Natural Living Library. Traditional preparation can be enjoyable without inventing new tricks and mechanisms for it. The final 2 foods create a noticeable jump in magnesium. Number 2 is chia seeds. 1 ounce provides about 111 milligrams of magnesium. That is more than a quarter of the standard daily value, and substantially more than an ounce of almonds. They also contribute fibre, so increase the amount gradually if your current diet is low in fibre and drink adequate fluids. Chia seeds absorb liquid and form a gel, which makes them useful in oatmeal, yogurt, smoothies, and chia pudding. For an easy make-ahead chia pudding, whisk 1/4 cup of chia seeds with 1 cup of dairy or plant-based milk. Add a tablespoon of cacao powder and a teaspoon of maple syrup or honey to taste. Let it sit for 5 minutes, stir again, and refrigerate for at least 2 hours or overnight. It makes 2 small magnesium-rich servings. Speaking of magnesium-rich, we now reach a food with 45 more milligrams per ounce than chia seeds. Number 1 is roasted pumpkin seeds, specifically the shelled green kernels commonly called pepitas. 1 ounce provides about 156 milligrams of magnesium. For a woman 51 or older, that is close to half the recommended daily amount. For a man in the same age group, it's a little more than 1/3. Now this doesn't mean that more is always better. Pumpkin seeds are concentrated, so 1 measured ounce is enough to make a major contribution. Eat them as a snack, sprinkle them over oatmeal or yogurt, or add them to salads, soups, and vegetables. And here is the 2 food combination promised at the beginning. 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds plus half a cup of black beans provides approximately 216 milligrams of magnesium. Actual totals will vary somewhat with the product and preparation, but that simple pairing shows how quickly ordinary foods can add up. Pumpkin seeds earn the top position because they provide the largest amount of magnesium in the standard servings used throughout this countdown. No weed pulled from an unidentified yard, no mythical ancient cure, just a food you can buy in almost any grocery store. So there they are, 15 practical foods that can help you consume more magnesium after 50. But here is the part that matters most. Magnesium is essential for normal muscle and nerve function, energy production, blood sugar regulation, bone health, and many other processes. But the relationship between magnesium and sleep is still being studied. Some observational research connects better magnesium status with better sleep, and a few small trials have reported possible benefits from supplements. But the clinical evidence is limited, inconsistent, and not strong enough to promise that eating one food will produce deep or uninterrupted sleep. That does not make these foods unimportant. It means we should use them for what the evidence genuinely supports, helping build a nutritionally adequate diet. Start with 1 or 2 changes that fit your life, like adding peanut butter to oatmeal, or swapping white rice with brown rice 1 to 2 times per week. If today changed how you think about not just what to eat, but how to separate useful, traditional choices from exaggerated health claims and modern suggestions, that is exactly what our free Natural Living Starter Kit is built for. It includes 50 practical swaps for things modern life changed or replaced, covering your kitchen, your medicine cabinet, and more. The link is in the description, and it is completely free. One last question. Which food surprised you most? Was it the pumpkin seeds, the black beans, the ordinary baked potato, or something you already had in your kitchen? Tell us in the comments. And if you are building a fuller understanding of traditional nutrition, watch our videos on ancient grains and fermented foods. Take care of yourself, and we will see you in the next one here at the Natural Living Library.